NamelessDubs does not claim to own any of the art shown in this video,
and encourages you to check out the original artist. It is strange to write after so long. I had almost forgotten how to put pen to paper. Hopefully, it will come back to me soon enough. I shall keep tonight's entry brief. We arrived in Kakariko 2 nights ago. It all seems a little hazy, and perhaps I will recount Impa's words another time. This is a little muddled for a diary entry, don't you think? Perhaps I am more addled than I first thought. My mind is both racing and stretched very thin. I am anxious to begin work on restoring the kingdom, but it is not something that can be done in a day. I reflect at length upon the events that occurred over the past 100 years. So much has changed. It feels so long ago now, and yet so short. I'm not making much sense at all, but writing a diary seems like a good way to arrange my thoughts. Link sleeps a lot. His wounds were less grievous than they could have been, given his opponent, but they will take time to heal. I must admit, I do feel a little guilty. I teased him about the fact that he's tired that he spent the last 100 years sleeping, but he only laughed and replied, "Yes, and hardly a moment since." He carried a great weight upon his shoulders for so long and never once wavered on his path. I can't blame him for taking the odd nap. My own exhaustion seems to be not in my body, but in my mind. This is all so strange. Perhaps I should turn in for the night too. Today's rainfall drove all but a few of the villager folk indoors. For the most part, it was quiet. It is strange. I am not accustomed to the calm anymore. When I battled Calamity Ganon, I was contained in the eye of an ever-raging storm. My mind, my body, I was not myself. The freedom to walk on my own 2 feet again, to do as I please, it's an indescribable sensation. But I lack the clarity. These things take time. I suppose it is only natural that there is a disconnect. Scent, taste, touch. I had almost forgotten them all. It is such a shame that we didn't have the opportunity to properly observe the Shrine of Resurrection's effect on Link when he first awoke. Who knows when we will have need of it again. Although he remains physically fine, his memory loss is greater than I could have anticipated. I dare not ask how much, or how little of his childhood he recalls. But it is apparent in the smaller details. When once his favorite color was green, he now favors a light blue. And he used to swear by a home-cooked pumpkin stew, but now is a lover of meat skewers and apple pies. There are many things about him that have changed.
Be sure to tuck your thumb in it so he won't nip it.
It's quite remarkably handsome with a hearty character. You really are the spitting image of my steed from 100 years ago. But you're getting a little plump, don't you think? Has someone been spoiling you? Well, perhaps he isn't that different. Impa's granddaughter Paya is such a sweet girl. She is the spitting image of her grandmother as I knew her, and so dignified. It seems the Sheikah have some work to do in restoring themselves to the might they once had. But I can't help but feel that Paya is the living embodiment of those I knew 100 years ago. If only she could believe in herself a little more. There. Now you look the part too. Amazing! Traditional Sheikah garb and hair. It's wonderful. I've never met a girl so shy. I think perhaps it is because of her birthmark. It's in the most peculiar place. I'll spare her dignity and not disclose its location here. Who knows where there may be prying eyes. How do I look? Fit for a princess. Oh, was that presumptuous? I'm sorry. You look lovely in everything you wear. Please do not take offense. Oh. It's thanks to her that I've been writing a diary again. I was in the habit of keeping one a long time ago, but I had not thought to start a new one from scratch. Link informed me that Paya kept one, and he thought it might be wise for me to start my own. He turned such a funny shade of red when he mentioned it. I wonder what he knows that I do not. Perhaps I shall have to ask him about it later.